Welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, what is up? My name is Kylie. I'm an author tuber, an audiobook narrator, a voice actress, and a professional nerd plus mom. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, kind of a catch-up video, so let's get into it. So, my husband and my son and I went on a trip to New York to visit my family. I haven't been to New York in 2 years due to the pandemic, and I haven't seen some family in 2 years. Like, I just saw my parents this April. They came down when there was a little bit of a lull in the Rona, and they got to meet my son, and then we got to go fly home. And a couple of tips I will give parents who are flying with young kids is expect the worst, hope for the best. We expected it to be worse than it was, and it wasn't that bad. The flights to New York were wonderful. They were smooth. They were without, incident with a 5.5-month-old. The flight back was a little different. The first flight was easy. The second flight was get us off this plane, dear Jesus, can time fly any faster? It was hot on the plane. He was uncomfortable. We had an unforeseen delay, so everything just got a little bit backed up, and he wasn't happy. And my husband runs hot, and my son runs hot. I'm really short in the torso, and my son's really long. So sitting on me wasn't the best thing, but sitting on my husband wasn't really the best thing. Luckily, on the way home, we both had free seats in the middle between us on the Southwest flight. So we were able to kind of like lay him out because he can't really sit up yet. But we were able to lay him out and stretch him out and, try to, entertain him that way. And we got new toys for him. So we got some new crinkly books, some new texture books, and some chewies because he is teething like crazy. I thought he was actually coming down sick when we were home. And my mom and my sister were like, oh, no. This is teeth. So I kind of got to know the difference between baby teething cold and teething and like normal sick. So who knows? He's still teething, he's still chewing, and he's drooling so much. So I'm going to say it's definitely teething. So other than that, we went home. We had a fantastic visit. It was amazing to be back on the water. We got to stick my son's feet in the water and baptize him a little river baby, because where I grew up on the St. Lawrence River, the river is so important to my family. It's so important to who I am. I have a whole contemporary series of novellas that I want to write based around the river, based kind of loosely off of me and my friend group that I had and have, going back to our shenanigans when we were a little bit younger on the water, and just what river living entails. It's a different kind of pace. It's slower. I love it. And we're actually considering, my husband and I are considering getting a camper. And this again goes back to watching all the DIY homesteading videos while we were home. We're considering getting a camper and setting it up in New York to just kind of be able to escape and get away whenever we want to from the city here in Texas. So I am so excited about that. I look forward to that opportunity. My parents have 10 acres and they said that you can just park out back and we'll use hookups through the garage and it'll be fabulous. And my dad, I think, really wants an excuse to build a tiny house, but I think for the interim, camper is going to be a little bit of a better deal. So coming back online, my husband and I went social media silent for the month of August. We went 31 days, no social media. The only thing I kept up with was my messenger, because that's how I work through audiobooks, but I did not look at Facebook, did not look at Twitter, did not look at Instagram, and we use YouTube for news or following the people we like to follow, like the DIY people and the Dollar Tree haulers. Y'all rock. So we had no social media for a month, and it was amazing. And it made me stop and realize how much time I waste on social media, how much time I don't need to spend doom scrolling on social media, especially in the climate that we're living in currently. And being back home on a slower pace on the river where family is more important and time means more, it seems to, than just being the rat race of life, it really made me realize I want to restrict my social media consumption. And my husband and I have implemented a new type of schedule for work that I will let you know if it works after the first week. So we're going to wake up consistently at the same time. We're going to take 2-hour chunks out of our days. So for 2 hours, one of us will be able to just 100% focus on whatever we want to focus on to get it done. If our son sleeps, naps in that time, great. The other one can get some work done then. If not, you are on baby watch, because he doesn't need to be entertained all the time, but somebody has to be like around to make sure like he doesn't, off himself because he's a baby. And that could be anything from rolling over on his stomach to, flipping over, whatever. Somebody needs to be in the vicinity of him when he's not napping. So that's the first thing. So we're taking 2-hour chunks at a time, breaking an hour for lunch, and then doing the same in the afternoon. And by 6 p.m., we want to be done with work. Off of that, we want to be done. So after 6 p.m., we want to be done with work, and, we're able to, from 9 to 6, no social media, no scrolling, no nothing. And then after 6, you can check. Before 9, you can check. But during those work hours, that's going to be a hard no. Email doesn't count because that's how we work. We have an agent here in Texas, and we have to check our email because that's how a lot of our work comes through. So we have to be on the ball for that. One of the things that my husband and I also did, as soon as we got home, we were nuts, okay? We were nuts. We stormed through the house, and we are selling as much stuff as we possibly can. We minimized more things. We have more space than our spare closet here. We have organized our wardrobe closet that we have, and I got rid of more clothes, and I'm now pretty much down to the pieces that I wear. And it was all like, I don't want clutter. So yesterday I went to the Dollar Tree and I did a run. As you saw in a previous video, I spent only $48 and about 50 cents, and I got all of that, and I was able to organize my space beautifully, especially the bathroom, which was a hot mess, and underneath the kitchen sink. I was able to place some things, some of those little containers into kitchen drawers, which was great because I was sick and tired of having, the measuring cups get mixed up with the tablespoons, and it was a mess. So I put all of those types of baking utensils in one, the measuring cups and teaspoons in the other, the miscellaneous stuff in another one, and then I did what every woman needs to do. Is I took 2 of those long white ones that I showed you, and I put our Pyrex container lids in an organized fashion in those, 2 of them. So my Pyrex lids will no longer fall on me whenever I open up the cabinet door that they are stored in, because that was annoying. My husband called it, I put the chaos of our home back in order. And of course, I'm not exactly happy with what's happening in this side of the office/nursery. So this side of the nursery is totally fine. Like, it's all organized from like then on. It's totally organized for baby. It's totally just picked up. This side, if you were able to see down here, it looks organized. It's not how I want it. And behind this is a beautiful stationery that I got in Tennessee that was $125. I totally tricked my husband saying, oh yeah, it'll fit in your car. There was no way in heck it was fitting in his car, but I got it anyway. And I always wanted a stationery, so I got it and we moved with it to Texas, and it houses all of my family photos, but the drop down that creates the desk part is just a catch-all right now, and it's really annoying me. I've been through the drawers. I have downsized the drawers, so the drawers are all cleaned out, but the top has just become a catch-all. I have a bunch of medical bills from labor, my labor and delivery and my son. I have a bunch of notes from the pediatrician that I need to put into his baby book, which I haven't even kept up with. I mean, I've kept notes. I have notes all over the house. We keep a notebook of when he eats, what he does, if he does something different, if he does a milestone or something. So we know all of that. I just have to input it into the baby planner that I bought from Erin Condren for him, which I haven't really had the time to do, and I need to make the time because he's going to be 6 months in 2 weeks, and that's insane. So I have to go through all that and organize it. So there is a lot left to do. My life is not perfect, especially with a baby, but we are doing the best that we can. And I'm hoping that these 2 block chunks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, will be enough to give my husband and I a reprieve so that we know, okay, mentally, we have to check in for these 2 hours. We have to work. We don't have an excuse. We have to do it now. So, because I work better that way if I know, hey, this 2 hours in the morning, you're going to do audio, and the next 2 hours in the afternoon, you're going to write, or you're going to get organized. So that is what is happening with that. We're going to see how that little experiment works. How am I doing postpartum working out? I am back down to 125 pounds, which I wanted to be back down to 120 by this time, but I'm okay with being 125 right now. I'm totally fine. Again, it wasn't about me getting like stick thin. It was just about me getting rid of the excess and feeling comfortable in my own skin, because I have had an eating disorder in the past, and I've had to kind of like fight and tamp that down with trying to lose the weight again from the baby, and then also having body dysmorphia and seeing things that other people don't see, like me seeing myself as ugh, when other people are like, girl, I would kill to be that small. And I'm like, I know, it's a thing. So I've really had to work on that, and I'm really comfortable being 125. This coming week is going to be all cardio and all pelvic floor exercises once again, because I have fallen off the bandwagon. And on top of that, I'm cutting coffee and refined sugar. So coffee will be cut until just the weekends, which means it's more or less caffeine is being cut. Caffeine is being cut till the weekend. And then my husband and I are going to try to do 2 weeks to 3 weeks of detox of refined sugars, which means I can't have sugar in my coffee anymore, which is fine. I can survive. I've been drinking copious amounts of decaffeinated green tea to kind of like start the transition over. But it's a lot. One of the things that we have both realized is that we need quality sleep. We need to get up at the same time every day. Doesn't matter when we go to bed. We have to wake up at the same time every day. We eat really healthy, but we could do better. And we really want to see what our bodies do with no refined sugar, just natural sugar, and also no caffeine. I have been off of caffeine for months at a time where I didn't get anything caffeinated. And it was some of the best sleep, best wake ups, like waking up without a problem in the morning. Because when you wake up in the morning and you've had coffee in the morning, your body's already going through the withdrawal. Like it wants it, especially if it's like an everyday thing for you. So I watched a bunch of videos on how to kind of get off caffeine, and I've done it cold turkey before. It's 3 days of a really intense headache. So we're gonna see how it goes. Usually mine are about 3 days, and then I'm fine. Doing it in tandem with the no refined sugar might make me feel really gross, so it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. But I will let you know, and I will do a separate video on the caffeine, off caffeine, and also how we feel after 2 weeks, and then the no refined sugar detox for a couple of weeks. So that's 2 crazy things we're doing. Another thing that I am doing, which seems like a never-ending story, is getting ready for Q4 of 2021 and getting my goals set in order in advance for 2022. So as I said, I'm not publishing in 2022. I'm writing my butt off. And the reason why is because I took Brandon Sanderson's BYU course, Science Fiction and Fantasy, Writing Science Fiction and Fantasy 2020. And like I said in previous videos, it all clicked. Everything made sense. I understood. It was taken in this time with a level of understanding, but knowledge and wisdom and how to, spit it back out into my own work. So I have it now. And now I'm looking at Claymore like, you are a fantastic idea and I love you, but you don't work right now. You don't work. Your intro is bleh. You peppered paranormal into a romantic suspense. I'm going to have to do probably the month of September. Let me slow down. The month of September will be focusing on rereading what I have so far of Claymore, taking super duper detailed notes, like kind of creating a story Bible that I don't have, which I usually have before I start. But again, this project has taken on a life of its own. Make a story Bible, and then put my monitor up, put the fresh Word doc and the current draft up, and retype. And that will probably be my NaNoWriMo project for this year. My NaNoWriMo project will be rewriting the entirety of Claymore 1 again. But I consider these to be all my drafts, and I 100% feel so much more confident in my ability to write well and put what I've learned into practice instead of having to practice putting my work into practice, if that makes any sense. Like, there's the times where you're just working your craft, and then there's times where you just know what to do automatically. And I feel like I have reached that level, and I feel it in my bones, and I'm ready to do it. So that is what I'm working on, plus working on my science fiction novel that I'm super excited about working, because my novella number 3 is with the editor for the second pass. I am contacting my promo company for the cover reveal and release day. I just have to format it after the final edits come through, and then I can publish it at the end of this month, and then I am free and clear. So that's what's happening in my life. I will be making another video shortly about how I am setting up my story Bible for Claymore, what I'm using, what I'm doing differently for this new process, and also setting up Q3, because as you can see, all those yellow stickers are pretty much Claymore. Yay! And I've gotten a lot done on the YouTube front and on the audiobook front, but there is still more to do. So yeah, that is what is happening with me. And if you're noticing that there is a wand behind me, my husband is so sweet. I cannot find a Narcissa Malfoy wand anywhere. He made me one because I was just like, oh, her wand, it looks like a stiletto. It looks like a Louis Vuitton or something like high end. Like, it's totally something that Narcissa would have. And I'm obsessed with Narcissa. I love her. And R.I.P. Helen McRoy. I mean, that's just the irony that she and Alan Rickman are both gone is really sad. And she was so young, and Alan wasn't that old either. So having my husband be like, I'm gonna make my wife a replica Narcissa Malfoy wand was super sweet, and I really appreciate it, and I love it. And it's just like, I have a wand. But I do plan on starting to collect some wands that I'm interested in. Some of them are a little bit obscure, like Neville Longbottom and like Narcissa. I really, really like the look and just Narcissa's character. I just love the whole theme of a mother's love saving Harry throughout the whole thing. So I'm here for it, as I am a mom now. So that is all I have for you today, guys. I am going to be taking off here. Hopefully in the next couple of videos, you will see some more Halloween decor. Not really Halloween decor, but like autumnal decor, because this is my favorite season. It is pumpkin spice latte time. I haven't gotten one yet, which is really sad, but no caffeine and no refined sugar for the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be saving it for a really special occasion, because I don't really go hardcore on pumpkin spice. Sometimes it kind of turns my stomach a little bit. So I am looking forward to getting my first cup. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy my last cup of coffee for 2 weeks. And I am going to sign off. You can follow me down below at all of the links. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any ideas on, you know, organizational things for your desk, things that you're doing to organize your series or your books or your thoughts. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one. One love, guys.